Hi, welcome to another episode of WCM Supplier Showcase. I'm Ben Quiggle, editor of Woodall's Campground Magazine, and with me today is Brian Belknap, the founder of Modular Pumptrack USA. Sorry, that was my mistake. And I guess we want to talk a little bit about your product that you offer to RV parks and campgrounds. I guess what exactly is a pump track for people who might not know what that is in the audience, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely, Ben. A pump track is still one of those things that's getting some awareness in the U.S. market. It's been
Yep.
around probably over a decade in Europe and Australia and South America and other parts. It's had
Mhm.
wild success. And so a pump track is kind of taking a riding experience for various wheeled sports and just giving them kind of a transformational experience where you don't really need to pedal through the pump track. You want to use flat pedals, and you absorb the roller and push down through the backside of the roller to build your own momentum and inertia, which gets you that speed to ride through a pump track. So here on the website, you can see just on the video there, this is one of our core tracks that we have. It's called the Velocity Loop 2, actually. And
Yeah.
you can see a couple riders, just buzzing through it. And, so here's some of the youngsters on Strider bikes with no pedals. So it's something that really all ages, all abilities, any wheeled sport can go out there and really improve their balance and strength and coordination and just have a blast doing it.
So is this, I guess, how long have pump tracks been around? Because to be honest, I've never even heard of this before. So,
Yeah, well, I would say the first pump track probably was made out of dirt, because that's the
yeah.
easiest way and cheapest way to do something. However, the maintenance on that is a real pain. Then it started to evolve into asphalt, concrete. Issues with that is just it's a really expensive design process, and the expense that comes with the installation of moving and installing that is quite expensive.
Yeah.
Then enters modular, right, which is pre-designed
Yeah.
tracks, plug and play, really easy connection points to install. It's a safe riding experience year over year. There's little to no maintenance required on it. And so it's just really something that you can set up and the kids and adults can enjoy as an all-inclusive activity and,
Mhm.
no maintenance at all. Safe riding experience.
So we were talking a little bit before we jumped on here, and you were
Mhm.
mentioning what the stuff is made out of. I guess what are the tracks made out of? Like
Yeah,
that you
so
showed.
we've developed an injection mold for this product that is made out of a durable polyethylene plastic material. And
Okay.
so for those, that give a little bit more information to that product is think of like a kayak, right? Um, that hard, durable plastic. That was something that you could think of as this product. So that's going to be able to withstand like extreme weather temperatures, hot, cold. It's going to have no effect on either side of that.
What you also shared some photos here. Let's get the photos up that you showed me. So
Sure.
you've done a couple of these installations at campgrounds, parks already,
hmm
and I guess what's been the reaction so far at those parks? I guess as I
Yeah.
try to pull them up.
We've had wild success already, and if you could pull up a couple of those installations,
Yep.
the as from the feedback from this particular customer is it took them about a half a day with their own crew to install. They chose to do a little bit extra landscaping around the pump track itself just for aesthetics. This is
Yeah.
actually the track of name of this one is called the Cosmo, and they had this set up in, like I said, in a half a day. And they had mentioned that as they were starting to connect the modular pieces together, the kids in the resort were already itching to get onto the track and start riding. So once they completed the install, it was like the new favorite thing of the property, for the kids to enjoy. Some of the parents came out and had a go at it as well. And it just was a really good social environment, for that property to have this.
The footprint doesn't seem to be too large, I guess. So I mean, I think, when I first saw this product, I was thinking, boy, you're going to have quite a footprint maybe. But, the footprint doesn't seem to be any worse than maybe like a playground or something.
Yeah, and that's where we can work with, any budget, any size of space, and transform that into a bike park experience. And we have various tracks that start at like a micro level, right? And then we get into our core
Mm-hmm.
tracks, and then we get into the deluxe tracks where you can really make a statement out of it. But yeah, you're looking at anything from like, a basketball court size, and then you can go bigger from there.
Yeah, yeah. I guess what are the prices on something? I imagine the more complex it gets, the more expensive it probably is.
Yeah, so we've tried to range that out, just for all budgets and spaces. We have some smaller ones that are just very introductory, style pump tracks, where you can get used to that pumping motion, right? And it's just like a real beginner one for about $7,000 delivered in the continental U.S. And then you can get into a price range of about 30, 40, 50,000. We have plentiful options in that price range. And then you can get up to the 60K, 70K plus for the larger tracks, where, those larger tracks just allow more kids to be on the track at one time. You can also do a mirrored track where it's competition style, right? So the kids enter at the same time,
Yeah.
and then they're racing head to head and exit out safely, on opposite directions. So there's some real fun options that we can do. It just depends on the vision and the budget.
Is this typically something where it's an amenity? It would be kind of included in with the camping, or do you see people like selling tickets or doing extra things? Maybe people have to pay to use the track, I guess.
Uh, for this audience, I would say it's more just, included in the resort property, and, right at your, at your own ability and times that you want to go out and ride the track. Other
Yeah,
audiences and networks of customers, they can use it as like a pay to ride or a membership or something else, right? Where it can bring in some additional
yeah.
revenue. But yeah, I think for an audience that we're talking to today, it would be just something included into the resort property. Get the families and the kids talking about it. Differentiate yourself, as your property more recreational focused than others, and get those repeat bookings, because it's really going to be something that's going to be the fun for the entire family to enjoy together.
Do you see park owners like renting bikes or like having bikes that people could rent, or is this basically like campers bring their own bikes and use them on the track?
Yeah, I mean, for me, when I was traveling with my aunt and uncle in their RV and going to all the
Mhm.
KOAs and different resorts and campgrounds, I mean, I traveled with my bike. That was, when we
Yeah,
parked, I couldn't wait to get out that RV and grab my bike and just go ride around and hit whatever speed bumps, were in the property and
yeah.
build my own racetrack
Yep.
and stuff. But I would see that could be another revenue stream for sure. Is if they wanted to have, helmets, scooters, some bicycles of varying frame size, from like the Strider bikes all the way up to like a 24-inch bike. You could rent it for the day for $15 or have a multi-day rental program, and that could be another revenue stream for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I know one of the big deals for park owners nowadays is insurance. With the insurance costs going up, I guess. Have you heard from any park owners on what this kind of does to their insurance rates? Is it that big of a change, or is this a pretty easy amenity to add, I guess?
Yeah, I think with any sort of just playground structure that's already, on
Yeah.
property in existence, or, anything like regarding the original jumping pillow, which we're actually proud to say that we have a partnership kicking off with the original jumping pillow. So
Okay. Yep.
this is a really great complement, to that type of a property that's already, gone to those means of developing a playground structure or the jumping pillow installation. And I'm sure you've had wild success with both of those options, for your guests. But this falls right in line with that type of existing amenity.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I think you touched on it earlier. People are looking for experiences. I mean, you typically don't see these everywhere. So I guess it would tap into that unique experience kind of thing where, you know, you're going to camping and you're going to be able to do some unique things that maybe you don't do at home, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're hearing a lot about, just that recreation focus, just for the whole family to be involved. So whether they're building walking trails, on their property or bike trails, this is just another active recreational amenity that, for me as a father of two boys, when I go to look at, getting away from the house for the weekend or a trip, I'm always looking to have experiences for my boys, right? And some
Yeah.
of those experiences
Yep.
I want to be with them and enjoy with them, and the other experiences I want them to go out there and challenge themselves and, you know, have that autonomy to go experience, things that are new on their own. So I think for those of you, that are just learning about this for the first time, I'm happy, that we've been able to introduce the modular pump track as an option. I understand that sometimes with these new vendors that get spotlighted, it's always maybe asking for an investment, out of you, as an owner operator, to do something different for your property. But whether you're a customer now or down the road, I'm just happy to be able to introduce this to you because it's something new and exciting that is starting to get a real good buzz out there in communities throughout the nation.
So if I'm a park owner and I decide I want one of these and I order it, how fast is the turnaround time? How fast can I expect it to be at my park, I guess?
Yeah. So from order creation to delivery, we're about a 60-day window, and that's in the continental U.S. and shipping is free as well. So
Okay.
we have that
Yeah.
all included. Yeah.
And then what on the it's modular. So I imagine it shows up at the park and the park owners or their employees put it together. What's that process like? How long does that take, I guess?
Sure. Yeah. So it depends on the track size, but I would say
Yeah.
anywhere from 1 hour to about 6 hours is the typical time frame, and that's with a
Okay.
crew of four crew members, and they don't have to be very skilled. It's a very easy process. We provide an installation guide that has all the pro tips and tricks and what tools to have, but you're talking about a hand dolly, an impact tool, and you're really just carrying the pieces into place. They're number coded. You're kind of just washing and repeating that same step. Hand thread it at first, impact tool to finish, and then you're done.
Okay. And then you know, a lot of our park owners have, parks that may be on the side of a hill or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Not the most even ground. Does this require like an even, a leveled piece of ground, or can you
Yeah.
build it on kind of a little bit of a slope? I guess.
If you did a little bit of a slope, you'd probably want to have more of a straightaway than an
Okay.
interconnected lap track, right?
Yeah.
When we're doing one of the connected tracks, you want to make sure that you don't have more than a 2% grade,
Okay.
and not a ton of undulations with that surface, right? Because the connection points for each modular piece, you want to make sure that they're lined up appropriately.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, what's the best way for people to get in touch with you or to learn more about the product? I guess.
Yeah, I'll give you a few options. So first, our website is modularpumptrackusa.com. You can also go there and download one of our product catalogs just to get you a little bit more detailed information. You can also reach me directly at Brian, which is Brian, at modularpumptrackusa.com. Or if you want to just give me a call and we can talk a little bit more about what your needs look like and your space and budget, you can give me a call directly at 925-922-9594.
And you guys also have some social media pages too. I think that people could go look at more pictures too. I guess you guys have
Yeah,
a bunch of pictures.
whether you're LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, we have some good content out there, some videos, a lot of pictures about kids riding, and the experience that's being offered. So that's a great way for you to inform yourself a little bit more about the product and what it can do and bring to your property for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, and thank you for sharing a little bit about your product. And I mean, hopefully, I see you around at some conferences. I don't know if you go to any conferences, but maybe
Yeah,
we'll run into each other. So,
absolutely. Appreciate it, Ben. Thanks for having me.